And joining me now on Skype to talk more about all of this is Tim Carney, senior political columnist for the Washington Examiner and resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Tim, welcome back. Always good to see you. Before we talk about the political battle, I'd like to take note of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's life and her judicial career. Your thoughts?
Well, people use the word giant. People call her a trailblazer. These are all absolutely true. She wasn't the first. She was the second woman on the Supreme Court. She served for over 20 years and rallied lots of people. She became, and when the Democrats lost the White House after 2016, Ruth Bader Ginsburg kind of became the icon for the Democrats, especially the liberals over there. She was their most powerful figure and really carried not just one seat on the Supreme Court, but a real symbolic value for women in this country and especially for Democrats.
Yeah, and soon after her passing, as you know, the political battle ensued with Democrats vowing to fight. What do you think of the process, Tim, and do you think it's being rushed?
Well, Ginsburg herself was confirmed 42 days after she was nominated. We are approximately 42 days from Election Day. The idea that, that months from the new president coming in, and if Trump loses, Biden wouldn't come in until January 20th. The idea that you can't get a confirmation done in that time isn't really based in history. It's based, as Biden was saying, in the fact that sort of tensions are very high right now. That said, what Biden is asking Republicans to do is actually not do their job of advising and consenting and confirming or rejecting a nominee. So it's certainly not a rush. It's coming at a time when political tensions are particularly high. That as an argument to sort of possibly hand the ball over to Democrats is not one that's convincing very many Republicans at all.
Yeah, the president has said that he plans to announce his nominee by the end of the week. Let's talk about the significance of the pick, especially given the issues and the cases before the high court. What's at stake here, Tim?
Well, if we look at the political aspect of it, a lot of liberals Democrats are hoping that they're going to rally the suburban female vote with a possible threat to Roe v. Wade. And if you just poll people on Roe v. Wade, it's popular. If you poll people on the specific, what Roe v. Wade actually means, that is, should states be allowed to pass some laws to protect the unborn, at that point, Roe v. Wade becomes less popular. And Amy Coney Barrett, for instance, is herself a suburban mother. So when we look at the political aspect of it, anybody who really tries to predict how this will cut, they're going way out on a limb. We don't have enough information on that. But of course, this isn't just about politics. It's about the future of the court. A Louisiana state law on abortion was just struck down by a 5-4 majority with the 4 liberals and Chief Justice Roberts. You throw in a pro-life judge who's not as attached to sort of stability and precedent as Roberts appears to be, and you could actually start to expand protections for the unborn.
Well, as we've seen and as mentioned, emotions are running high on both sides. How do you think this will play out with voters, Tim, and how do you think it will affect both the Republicans and the Democrats ahead of the November election?
Well, to some extent, this increasingly makes the election about abortion. And the way that abortion polls in this country is pretty complicated. The majority of voters say they don't want Roe overturned. But when you ask them specifically, should states be allowed to regulate abortion or ban it later in the pregnancy, most people do say yes. Democrats are hoping that this will sort of rally suburban women, which is a swing population, over towards their side and away from Republicans if Roe v. Wade becomes the centerpiece. On the other hand, you do have the fact that Amy Coney Barrett, who could be the nominee, is herself a suburban mom. And if Democrats are attacking her, then Republicans are hoping that will look bad for them. The fact is, this is nearly unprecedented. Nobody knows exactly how it will play politically.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming on. We always appreciate your analysis. Tim Carney, senior political columnist for the Washington Examiner and resident fellow at the American Enterprise Institute. Thanks again, Tim.
Thank you.